Hey everybody, my name is Matthew Scarborough. I think some of you may know me. My grandfather was Reverend Joe Moorfield, and I want to talk specifically about Spring Garden Friends meeting. Um, over the over my life, anyway, the church has played a very significant role for me and my family. I could give you a list of names. It's just amazing the impact that church has had. It was founded in 1909 and it closed in, I want to say, June of 2015. I was there for the last service. It was very bittersweet and very sad. Um, I still remember one time I was in Lifeway and I saw a book that talked about the death of a church and how do you deal with it. And I haven't dealt with it. I'll be frank about it. I haven't dealt with it. One of my cousins was Lorena Brown, and Lorena, in particular, along with Linda Golden and a few others, there towards the end were the main people to keep that church going and keep it alive. The last year or two was just really rough, and I know now that I know the Britt family. Billy Britt was an amazing pastor there with a really good, lengthy pastorate there at Spring Garden Friends meeting. Well respected. He's definitely earned and gained my respect. Well loved, and not only that, but he also did my grandmother's funeral back in 2014, and just a really great man. His family is basically spearheading an event on January 22nd of 2017, which would basically be the last service at Spring Garden Friends meeting before they put the church on the market. At least that's my understanding. So I want to make a suggestion and a kind of a proposal, and I'll be honest with you. Before Spring Garden closed and even after, I made a lot of suggestions. There's a lot of things that could have been done. I really believe that, and honestly, my suggestions got kicked. A lot of people's suggestions got kicked to the curb, and I get it because I think a lot of people were tired. A lot of people were tired. It was a long fight, and the church had been through a lot, and I understand that. But at the same time, I really do care about the church, and I care about the facility. We have that place at Mayflower Drive and Spring Garden Street. You have a parsonage, a really great house built in 1943. You have this church edifice that was built in 1953 and 54. My grandfather was one of the ones that helped build it. Along with several others. It was really something. And I still have photographs of the old church and the new church right there at the corner. It was really something. And, I wish I could have been around to see it. So there's a lot of history here. You're talking about the church itself, founded in 1909, but you have this facility built in 1953 and 54. So you're talking about a facility that is 62 years old. So there is some history here. One, I would love to see it get historic landmark status. And I don't know how that would happen. That was one of the things that when Lorena was alive, and she passed away as well, and it was as soon as she passed away they closed the doors to the church. So she was, like I said, she was one of the main ones keeping it alive, and I had mentioned it to her about trying to develop some type of method for getting the church for landmark status, historical landmark status. I feel like that could still be done. My concern is I do not want to see the church sold. Now, I know North Carolina Yearly Meeting, the last time I heard, and I called about a week ago, and I finally got a hold of somebody, and they told me that everything was on hold right now because of this church split, or not church split, but the denominational split in North Carolina. And so I can say that the denomination, the Quaker denomination in North Carolina, is going through a lot, and I understand that. But at the same time, I don't know what the plans are for Spring Garden Friends meeting. I know the church is closed; they're not having services, they're not renting it out. But my hope would be that they don't sell it. And that's one thing in particular. There's so many things that could be done for the church, and I think the thing I want to prevent is basically UNCG buying the church. Now, I've heard rumors about them trying to turn it into a McDonald's, crazy stuff like that. I'm like, let me just be frank. Too many people's blood, sweat, and tears went into this church. And I know the church is closed. I know a lot of the people have passed on. I understand. But here's the thing, that building is still standing. And what type of legacy would anybody be leaving if we didn't do something to try to protect this church and try to save it? So my suggestion, if the North Carolina Yearly Meeting decides to sell, which like I said, I'm hoping they don't, but if they do, I would like to suggest that we try our best to get a group of people together, including myself, to attempt to purchase the edifice in the land. And I'm talking about the church, the parsonage, the hut. There's a building in the back. They used to call it the hut. I would like to try to organize a group of people to maybe buy this property from North Carolina Yearly Meeting. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm ignorant to it. I've never bought any property in my life. And now, granted, this would be a great start to get involved with. I've never bought any property. So I need some brains. I need some feedback. I know some people are going to say, yeah, Matthew, this is a real noble idea, and it's a great idea, but I just don't think we could do it. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of that. I'm just asking you, have some faith, pray about it, think about it. I really think this could be done. And at least then the church could be put to good use. It's right there in the heart of UNCG. There's so much that could be done. And I just want to encourage everybody to maybe try to get on board and be proactive to save this church. I would hate to see the church demolished after so much history, and so many people have poured their hearts and lives into that church. It would just be a real tragedy. It was already, it was a hard blow to see the church close. And I know, there's been a lot to happen with the denomination, but this is beyond denomination, okay? If a group of people get together and buy this church, it does not have to be part of the North Carolina Yearly Meeting, and the history can still be preserved. There's so much that could be done, and I want some feedback. So, and I know that if you've listened to me this long talking, hopefully you're taking some type of interest. But like I said, I don't even know how to go about it. I really don't. And that's why I said, give me some feedback. Talk to me. I need some brains. I need some people that know what they're doing to spearhead this. And I'll be glad to spearhead it, but I need some brains too, to help me out here, because this isn't something small. This is a big thing, and even if we had a group of people together trying to purchase that's a big purchase. Probably close to $1 million. It's got to be close to it. So there's a lot of good possibilities. So just really pray about it and think about it. And if you have any other ideas on how to save the property and how to save that area, come on. Like I said, it would just be a total waste to see that church get demolished and bought off by the college or whoever, real estate, whatever. It could still be put to good use. It could still be used for God's kingdom. I think we all know that. There's still some use in that church. So I'm just asking you, come on, pray about it, think about it, and give me some feedback. Lastly, I want to share this with you. I know that we've got another Spring Garden group has set up for this special meeting that's coming up January 22nd, and but the other day I was fortunate enough to purchase something off of eBay that I thought was just absolutely awesome, and it is this plate. And I just happened, and I've eyed this for about 2 months, and then I finally decided, let me make them an offer, and let me see if I can get it. But I think a lot of people would really appreciate this, and it's probably the clearest picture, and it's not even a picture, it's more like a painting of the front of the church. But I want to show you this. This is really something. I got this on eBay the other day, and this is a commemorative plate from the original church, and I'm not sure exactly when it was built. I want to say in the 1920s, and this is the church that was there originally facing Spring Garden Street. Then the church currently faces Mayflower Drive. And if you look at the back, it tells where it was made and everything. And I just think that is a really awesome thing here. And when we have the service on January 22nd, I will try. I may try to bring this with me so people can see it, because I really think this is a very special artifact from the church, and it's really special. Like I said, really pray about whatever we can. I just want as many people to get involved as possible to try to save this church. I mean, the church is closed, we know that, but let's try to save the property at least. I mean, I really do feel like we could do something. So I'm praying, and I ask you, everyone, to continue to pray as well. And I look forward to seeing everyone on January 22nd, because I do plan to be there, and I hope you will too. God bless you, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.